lords, my ladies, good citizens of Cobourg, and all professionals, friends, countrymen, whoever you are named, however you are named, welcome to this grand historical occasion. Let it be known that upon the 18th day in the year of our Lord 2024, a little piece of Cobourg's past, a once dilapidated and run-down stone building, was preserved and stands today to proudly celebrate its 25th anniversary milestone. Originally reopened in June in the year of our Lord 2012, the newly incorporated Cobourg Museum Foundation, a charity which is run by wonderful volunteers, named the new facility the Sifton Cook Heritage Centre. This in honour of Doug Sifton and David Cook, then deceased. Two of the original group, along with a previous mayor, Joan Chalovich, who wanted to keep military, educational and historical references preserved surrounding the museum's history and heritage. And this does get heavy, so I have to keep changing hands. Let it also be known that marking this anniversary, the facility will now come to be known as the Cobourg and Area Museum. Complementing this work has begun on a new permanent exhibit which also celebrates the town's history, which will see completion in the year of our Lord 2025. The exhibit will be housed within this same stone building and come to be known as the Sifton Cook Exhibit Hall. Noteworthy is the precious reference to Charles Dickens, whose full works were studied as a part of my own education in the United Kingdom. Just 1 year before Charles Dickens penned his classic A Christmas Carol, in the Lord's year of 1842, he did indeed walk the streets of Cobourg, commenting that Cobourg was a cheerful, thriving little town. As an extension of the museum's outreach beyond the usual May to October openings, in December of the Lord's year 2023, a series of walkabouts in the downtown core were offered under the theme Dickens Walks and Wassail, following actually in Dickens' footsteps. This in turn inspired the Christmas lighting in our own town, making the walks extra special. I will now hereby announce the requests concerning the museum, after which I will announce the proclamation. And I need my bell holder to help me just to transfer that over. I can't do it with silk gloves on. Okay, perfect, thank you. So these are the requests. May the 18th each year has been designated as International Museum Day. This year, that happens to be the day upon which the newly named Cobourg and Area Museum, with its also newly named Sifton Cook Exhibit Hall, will be opening its gates for the season. We therefore respectfully request that the town of Cobourg issue a proclamation to the effect that for this year, Saturday, May the 18th, will be known as Cobourg Museum Day. We further request that on this day, the exterior of the town hall be lit with coloured lights, and that from this day and for the rest of May, a newly unveiled flag showing the museum's logo be flown from a community flagpole. I now hereby announce the proclamation. Whereas the Cobourg Museum Foundation has, over the past 25 years, with the support of the town and with the help of local businesses and hundreds of volunteers, saved and restored the stone building commonly known as the barracks. Created and operated there a museum telling the stories of Cobourg and area. Welcomed thousands of visitors, both residents and visitors alike. Now therefore, be it resolved that Council for the Town of Cobourg hereby proclaim the 18th of May in the Lord's Year 2024, also known as International Museum Day, as Cobourg's Museum Day. And further, that all citizens of Cobourg be encouraged to visit the museum if they so wish to support it. This concludes the proclamation. The museums in our community add to the vitality of our life together and keep us conscious that we are a people with a past to be both celebrated and learned from. May the Cobourg and Area Museum continue from strength to strength, and may God save His Royal Majesty, King Charles III.
One of the most renowned artists in the area. So this is about the significance of the pine tree in our area. We're from Rice Lake. There's two reserves on the shores of Rice Lake, on the north shore and on the south shore where we are. And on the north shore is Hiawatha, where they're having their powwow along the shore today. So if you want to learn about the significance of the pine tree and how it affects our people, as well as how it spoke to Rick Beaver, please come up and read the full text. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Sustainable experiences we've had. Their efforts serve as a shining example of the community spirit that thrives in Cobourg. Thank you for graciously hosting us today. And on behalf of MPP Pacini, Mr. Pacini would like to extend his sincere appreciation for the dedication and commitment you all have shown to our community throughout the years. For 25 years, the Cobourg Museum Foundation has been a beacon of celebration for our local heritage. The foundation has worked tirelessly to keep the history of Cobourg strong and accessible to all. Thank you and congratulations for this marvelous milestone. MPP Pacini. Thank you.
Ostrander that's supposed to be here today, and he sends his regrets, but I'm very happy to be here on his behalf to give greetings and also to present the museum and the foundation with a Warden's Certificate of Congratulations in recognition of the special occasion of the 25th anniversary of the Cobourg Museum Foundation and the reopening of the now Cobourg and Area Museum. Thank you for all the work that you do to bring awareness to the past, to the present, to the heritage, and in the context of truth and reconciliation. And this place holds a very special, well, this museum and this space hold a very special place in our family's history. I brought my father, Basil Hinkivsky, with me today, who would drive from Grafton to bring myself and my son here to the museum. So a very special day for our family as well. Congratulations, and very pleased to be here for this celebration.
Councillor Matan, of course, Deputy Mayor Beattie, and we have some royalty here from previous councils. We actually have former Mayor Henderson in the crowd, as well as former Mayor Chavelich here. So we are surrounded with greats from the community that have led us to where we are today. Cobourg proudly proclaims a founding date of 1798. But today we've heard from Chief Simpson that the history of Cobourg goes back long before that. We know that we built our first artificial harbor in 1828, a railroad in 1853, and by 1904 we had steam ferry service. These monumental events were key moments in the development of our community, and we know about them because of the dedicated work of historians, volunteers, and organizations like this. Cobourg has a long and proud history. one we need to promote and protect, and it's this incredible museum that goes a long way to do just that. Today, on this 25th anniversary celebration, I'd like to say thank you.
And now it's my pleasure to welcome an retired Colonel Andrew Cook, who's the son of Mr. Cook, Dave Cook, of the Sifton Cook.
Back in Cobourg, I'm a Cobourg boy. I guess I can't really call myself a boy anymore, but 25 years is a long time, and a lot has happened in the 25 years since this idea came to fruition. Can you hear me back there? A little louder? Okay. So we've got Joan Chalovich in the audience. Joan, great to see you again. It's a little over 25 years ago that some leading lights in Cobourg, led by Joan Chalovich, Moira Lawrence, Doug Sifton, and my father, Dave Cook, came up with an idea to try to save this building. And this was I've been told all my life this was an 1812 barracks. It was called the barracks. That's all I knew it as. And it's great to see that vision was transformed into a reality. Now, vision is great, but you can't achieve vision without hard work and lots of volunteers, and there's no shortage of that in Cobourg. And I'm told that June 15th is Volunteer Appreciation Day, so I'd like to just put a shout out for that. So without any further ado, I'd like to unveil the plaque or the sign for the Sifton Cook Exhibit Hall. There we go. Thank you. I don't know what I do with this. Put it in here.
Just tip tap there, and it's a $10 a shot, and it would be really appreciated. Thank you all for coming. Mary mentioned Alan Bradley. Now, Cobourg is the home of so many actually famous, world famous people. Alan Bradley happens to be one of them. He's the author of a series of 10 internationally acclaimed mystery novels. He no longer lives here, so this message comes to us from across the pond. Quoting, "Of all things I've done in my life, the one which I am most proud of is that I grew up in Cobourg." As everyone who has ever lived there knows, Cobourg is not just a place, it's a state of mind, a state of heart, and one that stays with you forever. The Cobourg and Area Museum is a dream come true, a museum of our hearts, a place that will, down all the years, remind those of us who come afterwards of those who have gone before. And we ought to thank all those many people who have worked so hard to bring this jewel to our community and to maintain it this past quarter of a century. In my dreams, Cobourg is always waiting for me, and I am always happy to be home again. A dream and a museum are almost the same thing, aren't they? Places where our losses can be brought miraculously back to life. It's rather remarkable that when my grandparents, Charles and Eva Taylor, emigrated from England to October in 1907 with their little daughter, my mother, their first home was here on Orr Street. And in her later years, my grandmother had the Eva Taylor Room named for her at the Cobourg Legion Branch 133, also on Orr Street. So, if you see their shades hovering somewhere nearby, please give them my undying love and gratitude for choosing to settle in this perfect place. I'm delighted to hear that several of my dear Cobourg friends, our neighbors, Bob and Pat Barker, well, it's not Pat here today, but Bob Barker, his daughter, and Jim Thomas, raise your hands, there they are at the back, are here with us today. And I hope you will welcome them as warmly as you would welcome me. And if you have time, after this lovely 25th anniversary celebration, take a stroll up leafy Mall Street, maybe with Bob and Pat and Jim. And if at the corner of Blake Street you spot the shade of a little boy playing hockey alone on the road with frozen horse buns, tell him from me that everything is going to be okay. My love and affection to each and every one of you. Thank you, always in my heart. Alan Bradley.
And we will, once Pete has finished taking the photographs.
Good. I don't want to set this down because it's got...
No, because it's dirty, so hold on to it.
Should have the cake around the other way. You want to turn it?
What's it like, Joan, to see all this from 25 years ago? Talk a little bit about that.
It's really... I'm just so humbled to think I was part of it. But, you know, I think of all the years that it was kind of tough keeping, you know, the crew together because, you know, we had to grow the interest. And every step along the way as we improved the site, I think it did create much more of followers and they could see that it had great potential. So here we are now, lots of new faces, and I think there's lots more to come.
It's growing every single year, and this will be the 30th anniversary, and every year it's better and bigger than the year before. We've expanded the hallowed grounds over a long term, but you never want two communities doing it together at the same time.
Yeah, because then they don't, they want to have a community focus on.
Exactly, and then you get the drum groups, and the drum groups go around.
Then I know you're New Zealanders, right? The fush, you're talking about the fush. Yeah, the fush. That's a difference, right? You have to say that word before I know.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
Yeah, I don't know what it's on from the tire. Subway fans are so Subway fans are so long.
Well, that's right. This is a really short one.
Is that the steam train?
That's a steam train, yeah. And that's about, people say they can't make it go faster, but that's as fast as that train could go in the day. They run about 15 miles an hour, and that's about maximum.
So it's relative to the size of the
So that is very low. That's about 15 miles an hour. That's tops. Be perfect for this. Absolutely perfect. That's where it would belong, on the second floor. It would just be perfect. But you know. Yeah, we'll see.
Which one?
Okay.
I was very excited to see
What happens is it gets stuck right on that spot. It just gets stuck there a bit. Because it's kind of a bad connection there where the switch is.